I'm Samantha Brown, professional organizer, decluttering specialist, and business coach. I created Pro Organizers Coach podcast to empower you to reach new heights in your business. I am on a mission to build a supportive sisterhood of passionate professional organizers. So whether you're a seasoned pro or you're just getting started, this podcast is for you. Welcome back to the Pro Organizers Coach podcast and YouTube channel. Today is a conversation that I know a lot of you are going to want to take notes on. I've got Mr. Neil Shoney, and he helps people with ads, whether it's Facebook ads, Instagram ads, maybe even some Google, all the good stuff. So thank you, Neil, for being on the show.
Thanks so much for having me. Really appreciate it.
I'm excited. So today we are going to talk about why most service-based businesses fail with ads and the 5 ways to fix them, which I love. I'm so glad we're not just going to talk about why they failed and be like, all right, have a good day. So yeah, tell everyone a little bit about you, what you do typically, and then we'll jump into the topic.
Oh, good. Well, I've been running ads myself for 13 or 14 years at this point. I've been teaching them and running them for other people for about 11 years at this point as well. And it's all been in the service-based industry. Many of those service bases being localized businesses and, perfect place for us to be talking to your audience about localized ads and what really makes those work. Because it's a little bit different from just, online coaching or consulting or whatever it may be. It's a little bit different when you have a radius that you want to work with.
Yes. And I think that's where a lot of us, just as local service-based businesses, we kind of get stuck with ads and other things, is because a lot of the people we listen to that are teaching these things are teaching to content creators and people that their radius is the whole country or the whole world. And like you said, it's the local stuff that never really gets talked about because it's for a very specific niche of people. So I'm super excited to talk about that. So let's start with how we fail and where we mess up at.
Oh my goodness. I mean, the amount of things that we can talk about here, and I know we're going to talk about 5 fixes, but if you want about 13, you can basically tell me when to shut up.
Okay.
Because with local ads, there's so many fixes to make them more efficient. I mean, the place where localized businesses get ads wrong for the most part is, number one, they make a localized ad, so it's only supposed to be for people in their local area, but it actually sounds like they're speaking to the country. So that's number one, right? One of your greatest advantages when you're running ads in a localized area is the fact that you can call out and almost shock them that you're speaking to that localized area. It should be in the first line of the ad. Maybe it should even be in the first line of the video if you're speaking, and it should be probably inside the image if there's any text on it as well. So you really want to grab attention with the localized area that you're actually targeting. So that's number one. Number two is that people give Facebook far too much permission, right? If we're talking about Facebook and Instagram here, which a lot of people are in terms of their advertising because it's a less scary place to advertise. People have hit the boost button a few times. And when Facebook says Advantage Plus is turned on, this is fantastic for you because you are going to be able to get leads at a lower cost and this, that, and the other. I always say with Facebook and Instagram, you need to look at any of these platforms a little bit like a politician. And you need to basically, anytime they say something's in your best interest, you kind of need to question it and ask, why is it in their best interest? And with Facebook and Instagram, the big thing right now is that they turn Advantage Plus on, which essentially, not to go into any, crazy detail here, but essentially it's where they tell you, we've turned this thing on that means that everything you tell us is no more than a suggestion anymore. And so for localized businesses, that is tragic, because imagine if, just to say like you only work within a 25-mile radius, right? That's your catchment area and you want to run ads in that place. You can set the location as no further than that 25-mile radius. But if you don't know that there's a button that doesn't even look like a button, by the way, that says further limit the reach of my ads, if you don't know to click that and turn off use as a suggestion, Facebook can go outside of it. And so if you want your ads only to run in that 25-mile radius, you need to know that you're turning that off. And so a really, really big thing is that localized businesses think that they're running ads locally, but about 50 or 60% of their ad spend is nationwide. And they end up not getting frazzled because of their cost per lead. They get frazzled because they're like, all of these leads are coming in and they're not local. So they're not
Right,
my
I can't
people.
help them. I can't
Yeah.
do anything with them because they yeah, and that actually probably explains so I had one of my ladies in my group coaching community. She was trying to start with Facebook ads and was kind of running them, and she had put her radius, and she's like, "I swear I put my radius," but it kept giving her people outside of the radius, and so she was having that exact problem, and she's like, "I don't understand what I'm doing wrong because I'm setting my radius."
Yeah. And it's not made obvious. It's literally something that doesn't look like a button. It looks like text on a white background, but when you hover over it, it becomes a button. And even when you
Oh.
click it, it tries to convince you otherwise. It has a pop-up and it says, if you keep this turned on, you're more likely to get leads at a lower cost. But do you want to turn it off anyway? And you say yes.
Right.
And then you need to turn off use as a suggestion and then you need to hit publish again. But if you know to do that, and by the way, anybody can go to my YouTube channel and there's an 8-minute video literally showing me do this. So you can literally just watch it. I can't remember what it is, but it's at time of this publishing, it's probably about 10 videos back and it's an 8-minute video about Facebook has ruined Target and here's the fix or something to that effect. But that is a big one. I mean, localized businesses, and I work with a lot of them, it's a huge one, is that they think that ads don't work for them because every time they run an ad, it shows the ads to people far outside of their catchment area. So
Yeah.
it's a huge
No,
one.
that I mean, that yeah, that makes complete sense. Well, and of course, I love your analogy of it being like a politician. No offense to any politicians out there. But it's like it's what you said. Like you've got to look at it and kind of know the behind the scenes of like, okay, wait, hold on, it's trying to suggest this thing to me and like the workaround for it. So I love that on your YouTube channel you're teaching those things as well. Like that's awesome that that you're showing us how, because what I've learned with a lot of people that run ads is they almost wanna, like, keep all the secrets to themselves, and I get it because that's their business, but at the same time, that's like what I do, teaching people to start an organizing business.
Hmm.
If I'm not sharing how to actually start the business, then I'm not helping my listeners, and of course, my courses take you step by step by step. My community supports you with your specific issue, but I've still gotta be able to teach you some stuff, and it drives me nuts with ad people. Typically, what I've seen is that they try not to, like, give too much away, and I mean, either way, they're actually gonna hire you if you are sharing the goods more so than if you're not sharing the stuff that you know.
Oh, 100%. And I think this is like a really tough thing in the coaching space is everybody thinks you give away too much and nobody has anything to buy from you. But at the end of the day, the only reason why people are really buying for you is because of the close proximity to you, getting feedback along the way, things being made simpler, a higher level of certainty in getting to the result, and also
Mhm.
not just to get things up and running. Like in my case, the goal isn't just running Facebook ads; it's running them profitably, getting feedback and scaling them. So for like what one of the things I do with marketing is I run a monthly live masterclass, but we actually get people to create ads from scratch. It's 3 hours long. It's
I
it's not
love
it's
it.
it's not a presentation, but it's an amazing converter into clients because people get all their assets ready and then they're like, "That's the guy I want to work with in getting this rocking and rolling." So, no, I love that you are of the same
Yeah.
mindset, which is rare, rare
It
to come
really, really
across.
is, yes. Yeah, so where would you say also, because I'm curious on this, where we fail when it comes to the actual ad itself and what we're putting on it?
Well, with the ad itself, where most people get ads wrong, whether they're localized or not localized, is they just don't have enough variation there. So they upload one image, one piece of copy, and they hope that they got every word right. Maybe ChatGPT wrote it for them in 2026, right? So they hope that the words are perfect. They hope that the image is perfect or the video is perfect. And they're just, rolling a dice or flipping a coin, you could say, because it's either going to work or it's not going to work. However, the way that we ran ads, and this is literally from the start, 13, 14 years ago, running my first ads. I don't know if it was luck or intuition, but this is the way that I decided to run ads the first time I ran an ad. And when it was successful, I started running it for other people. And now is how I teach it, is that you should have variation in there to find winners and losers. So
Mhm.
you should never have a campaign out there with one ad. There should be at least 5 or 10 ads going to each audience. And there's two reasons for it. Number one, it doesn't matter how smart you are, how good a copywriter you are, there's always going to be a winner and there's always going to be a loser if you put things up against each other. So if you want to get the best result, you need to put variation out there. And the second thing is you'll be able to testify to this. I will, everybody listening will as well, is that we see ads all the time, and things interest us and we stop scrolling and we hit the see more button. We might even open the forum or go to the website, but we don't buy or we don't inquire. But the second time we see an ad, the third time we see an ad, the fourth time we see an ad, the fifth time we see an ad, we might take action at that point. If you just have one advert, Facebook and Instagram are forced to put that same advert in front of the same person over and over and over again and hope it has a drastic effect on stopping them scrolling again. Whereas when you have multiple ads, you don't just find winners and losers. You give Facebook more to work with to get that person re-engaged and back in. And so,
Gotcha. It's kinda like the commercials. I think it's I don't know, one of the streaming platforms I watch. When you're watching a show on it, they show you the exact same commercial every single time. And
mhm.
I've quit using the streaming platform because it drives me nuts that bad because it's the exact same commercial, and they play it 5 or 6 times throughout one show. And so
Yeah.
you've seen the exact same commercial every time and it gets annoying, and then you like, I don't wanna know anything more about it, I don't wanna see it ever again at that point.
Yeah, I know, and it's crazy to think that well, this has always been the thing with, like, large media. It's like bananas that they don't really, take part in social media marketing when there's such great control over who sees the message and who doesn't and things like that. It's crazy that they don't, but they also do things in almost what would be seen as like a backward way for the very reasons I just said there. It's like
Mhm.
you can get so annoyed with the adverts that you're seeing over and over and over again that you could actually choose to upgrade your subscription so you don't see any ads anymore.
Right.
Right? That's how bad these ads are. Whereas if for instance they wanted to advertise that Stranger Things was going to be in the movie theaters around Christmas, if they had 25 versions of the advert and the second time you saw it, it was different from the first, and some cases it hit an emotional marker, and in some cases it hit like the action-packed marker and many different angles, different people would react to different ones and be like, "I need to be there. This has to be a cinema experience." But they don't. But I mean,
Right.
that's our gain, I guess.
Yeah, but it makes sense with the ads that we're talking about too, because we're running a business. We're creating ads for our business. And so even what you just said about it being like hitting an emotional thing versus sometimes an action pat, like I've never even thought about that when it comes to ads because I don't run ads. And so, so even just that part, it's like, oh, that right there is a huge nugget of like, oh, not just a variation, but a variation of how it's emotionally going to hit the potential clients as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's like what one ad can be about, going right to the pain point and presenting a solution to it. And another one could be telling a story of a client. And it could be along the lines of most people would think taking on somebody in this service would help them with X, Y, and Z. But for Sarah, it was completely different. And then you tell a story through her experience and it really hits in a different emotional marker. And that can be the thing that drives somebody to take action. It might be the fourth ad that they've seen. They're already
Right.
aware of who you are. They've already, they know your face. They know the name of your business. They know the service that you provide, but then you hit them with a story. And the great thing is that like this sounds so like choreographed, and yet we don't have to do it. We just have to provide the stuff for
Right.
Facebook and Instagram to be able to do it.
And know which buttons to turn off in behind the scenes as well.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Because that's
Awesome.
another thing. You don't turn off Advantage Plus on your actual ads. They'll change the ad copy without you knowing. They'll change the
Oh.
images. They'll put random music over your ads. there's a lot of turning off buttons now. It's actually about half the job of setting up an ad campaign is turning things
It's
off.
just turning everything off. They need a turn everything off button. Okay, yeah, so we've talked about a few places that we fail. So you wanna, like, dive into these 5 steps of things we can fix?
Yeah, well, I mean, the very first one is gonna be the, turning off going outside of the localized targeting. It's one of the biggest things that you can possibly do. Again, if you wanna literally see there's no, like, 95% of the way there. It's literally just me showing you where to find the button and turn it off. But
Right.
I'll send it to you so you can put it in the show notes if you want to literally just
Absolutely.
click and watch it because it's life or death of running local ads. It's that important. So that would definitely be my number one. My number two for the localized businesses would be the calling out and getting the name of the location that you want to run the ads in inside the ads as much as possible without it becoming overwhelming. So I'm not talking about it being like SEO keyword cramming and, that needs to be in every single line. But having it in the first line of your ad copy is great. And so it can be as simple as, women of location, colon, and then whatever you want to say. Ask a question, a statement, hit a pain point, whatever it may be. But as simple as that. It can also be in the headline. The headline, some people think by that I mean the first line of the copy, but the headline is that bit of text that you see on a Facebook ad, not an Instagram, that is down beside the button. That actually draws the eyes more than the copy itself because it's big and it's bold. So that's a really important place to put that as well. And if you have a video, say the location in the first sentence. Call people out in that location. If you live in this location and you're looking for X, Y, and Z, then this is the service we provide. And if you have an image, it doesn't have to have copy, but if it does have copy, it would be useful for you to take that opportunity to also have the location in there. And as much as that can seem overwhelming when I describe it, it actually looks really good. It captures people in the right way. So that would definitely be the next one. The third one, as long as I'm not going too fast here.
No, you're good. I love it that we can dive into each one or ask questions or whatever, but go.
Honestly, you just dive in and cut me off at any point, and then I'll just pick up again and go from there.
Okay.
So the number three would be ad variation, because one of the greatest things for cost per lead is finding winners and losers, and also giving Facebook and Instagram enough to work with to get results. And within there, people will ask, is images better than video in 2026? The answer is that neither are better than each other, really. If you're a video person and I'm an image person, I don't watch videos on Instagram, but you do. Instagram and Facebook are more likely to show you a certain type of ad and show me a certain type of. But the second thing is that if we're trying to capture people and re-engage them when they've already seen our first ad and our second ad and our third ad, it's actually a really good thing that they see an image and then they see a video. Then they see an image, and then they see a video. Variation is a great thing. So the more variation you can have in your ads, the better. The fourth thing is going to be the targeting. And so I could probably break this up into multiple, but I'll try and just keep this all as one. So with localized ads, I know we've already said about turning off use as a suggestion, so it stays within the catchment area. I tend to find that with localized businesses, a lot of people cut themselves off a little bit too early in the radius. And so I usually challenge people on, okay, so you've put it this far out. Let's say it's 11 miles out or 20 miles out or whatever. And I'll say, you've said it's this far out. Do you have any customers that are outside of that? And they'll usually go, yeah, I've got one or two. I've got, somebody a little bit further out here and a little bit further out there. And I'm like, well, that extra 1 mile can make a lot of difference in how many people are inside the audience, how many people will be targeted, and how many people will come through. And another thing to note with that catchment area is that it no longer is people who live within as well. It's people who live within or have been in the last 60 days. And so
Oh.
people can go in and out of the location. So sometimes, I mean, also that's worth sharing with your client as well. If it's like, if tons of people are coming through and they're outside of the catchment area, it's because you haven't turned off that button. If one or two still are coming outside of the catchment area, it's purely because somebody drove through the area, got picked up
Wow.
on their phone, and they're now going to see your ad for a little bit of time as well.
Okay, that I mean, that right there, I had no clue on that one. Like, I thought it literally and I who knows? I don't know much about ads, but I guess I just assumed it was that they, live or at least work in the area, but it makes sense that if they drive through the area, their location is gonna pick them up there. So
Yeah.
then Facebook is like, "Oh, they're in this area." So they could be driving through on their way to Florida for a vacation. They may,
Yeah.
so you may still get those kinda lingering ones. It doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong, it just means those people could have come through the area.
Yeah. 100%. And again, this is one of those ones where Facebook said it was a great thing for us because we're gonna be able to reach more people, but
Uh-huh.
for localized businesses, it's not great. So,
Right.
but that's another reason to have the location in in the copy, in the image, in the video, in the headline, because Facebook is less likely to show it to the people who are not reacting. So they'll find patterns in what's working and what's not. And the fifth one that I wanted to share, because this is a huge one for local businesses. You're in the type of business where you don't have to like build know, like, and trust over like 12 months. A lot of people are either in the market or they're not in the market for your service.
Yeah.
And so one of the most powerful things you can do, even if you're not running warm ads, to people who already know who you are, is literally just targeting broadly to people who don't know who you are. Have testimonial ads inside your ads. So a lot of people think testimonials. Do I not just put that in front of people who are just about there and just about ready to buy? For localized ads, have at least one testimonial inside your ad variation. It can be a screenshot from a Google review. It can be as simple as that. And that could be front and center on the image, and then you can call people to action in the copy. If you do a video is extremely powerful for testimonials. It's a really powerful thing to have the ad copy speak to the story. So make it a little bit more specific. So again, using Sarah as the example, when Sarah came to us, da 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 da, and you can go from there and then call people to action, of course, as well. But testimonials are something that a lot of people think are only for bottom of the funnel, where people are, just about to buy, not for local businesses. Use it at the top of the funnel, the people who have never heard of you before. It's one of the most powerful things that will not just get leads coming in at a lower cost, but will actually increase intent from the leads that are coming through.
Gotcha. And then okay, so I have a couple questions that I'm curious about because when I say I know nothing about ads, I mean it's like zilch. So just just bear with me if this is a stupid question, but I want to ask anyways. Okay, so what are the size of ads? Like when it comes to videos, that kind of thing. What is the typical like is it, like is there a certain length that like it can't be more than or is it like what how does that work?
Certain like time length for video.
Yes.
So for video, it can be really high. I think it's 2 hours
Oh,
for
okay.
yeah. On Facebook, I think it's less on Instagram. I've never hit the threshold. But
Gotcha.
I've got one ad that runs, which is directly as an application or sends people to an application for my program, and it's 12 minutes long, but it's intentionally 12 minutes long. It's supposed to educate somebody more than they have from places that are not an ad, and almost shock them with what they learned from an ad. So yeah, you can have long videos in there. It's better in most cases for your videos to be sub 90 seconds, just because naturally with every second that passes, you're gonna have drop off. And so you want as many people as possible to get the entirety of your message. I'm doing something very specific there with remarketing with the long video.
Gotcha. Okay, and then so where do you typically send people when you are creating these ads? Like, have you found that, like, it's better to send them to 'cause, like, for instance, and the reason so for me, what I found in my area is when I send people to my Google page, A, because it has all of my Google reviews there, and they can still get to my website from it, I've found that actually works better for me instead of just sending them straight to my website. So, have you found, like, that there's one thing that works better than the other typically for, like, service-based businesses?
Well, for service-based businesses, I mean that's a great way to do it, is sending them to the Google page. If you've got all of that dialed in and you've got testimonials on there, there's nothing that's better for service-based businesses than having lots of proof. Just flat out.
Absolutely.
And so if you've got that all dialed in and they can see a whole bunch of proof in there and they can see a high rating and a high percentage of 5-star ratings and all of those things, great place to send people because, like you say, it's very easy for people to navigate to your website, inquire, and go. A couple of other ways that service-based businesses do it is sending them to their website, but do not send them to your homepage, right? Unless your homepage is the only page on your website and it's where people inquire, don't send them to a homepage where there's just a whole bunch of information and a choice of 14 different things to do. Like, send them to a page that is specific to what you want them to do next. Tell them headline, subheadline, here's where register your interest or fill in an application of interest or request a callback, whatever that call to action is going to be. The alternative is that you can use a Facebook form. So this is especially good if you're at a stage where you're like, I need clients right now, but I don't have a website. I don't have any of those other things set up, but I just need people coming my way right now. Facebook forms are great because number one, the form is on Facebook, so it's already created. You just need to put in a couple of details, your privacy policy, etc., and then your form is there. As soon as they see your ad will look like anybody else's. But when they hit the button, it won't go to your website or your Google page. It'll just pop open a form with your name, email address, and phone number already filled in, which makes it super easy for people to become a lead. The downside of it is it can be a little bit lower on the quality side. So I
Mhm.
usually say put in a custom question or two. So just a couple of questions, check boxes, that's it. So check this box, then their details, and that usually solves the problem there. And so there's a few different ways that you can do it, but again, for localized businesses, you don't need crazy lead. I mean, like there's a time and a place for a lead magnet in a localized business, but in most cases, people are, like I said, inside or outside of the market right now. They're either looking for this solution to be solved or they're not.
Right.
And so you don't really want to bring people in. Well, you don't want to be spending lots of ad dollars on bringing in people that you know you're about to nurture for 18 months. You want to
Right. Yeah.
you want to bring through people who are literally registering interest because they need this problem solved now.
Right, like, you're assuming that the person you're talking to, because like I tell everyone, and I'm sure you know this, is when you talk to one, you talk to many, when you talk to many, you talk to no one. And so
Mm,
the one person you're talking to Sarah at her actual tipping point. So not just her, but her at her tipping point of needing her problem solved. So if you
yeah.
think about creating the ad for her, not just for her at that specific moment in time when she's ready to actually purchase, that's who we wanna create our ad for.
100%. And when you do that, it's not just I literally said this to somebody, like one of my clients on WhatsApp, before I came on here, and he was talking about, like, running ads to people who already know who you are and how much do you like, how often do you need to change the ads and make sure you're not in front of people too often. And I was saying, but the thing is, it's not that somebody's either in the market or out of the market this month, and then they're not in the market for 11 months. People will come in and out of the market in the space of a few hours. It's like I say, if you're, you know, in the coaching space and you're doing body transformation or something like that. So somebody can get up and not be thinking at all about body transformation, and then something can happen in their day, and all of a sudden it's all they can think about.
Right.
And so when they saw the ad in the morning, it meant nothing to them. When they saw the ad in the afternoon, they're in the market. And so, yeah, it is absolutely perfect to be that pinpoint about Sarah, who's at the tipping point right now. And the person who doesn't react to the ad really well in the morning, not necessarily were they the wrong person. It might just be literally the wrong time of the day. Never mind that, they might come back into the market 5 days from now or 5 weeks from now.
Yeah, well, and it also not only that whole thing of, like, we want to repel the people that aren't ready. So, like, that helps to do that because I don't have time to sit and just be answering questions for a bunch of people that aren't ready. Like, they
Yeah.
either need to be ready or they're not, and then when they are ready, hopefully, I'll be the person that then they see the ad kinda thing. I was gonna ask, and this may be a really dumb question, but so do you create ads or do you recommend using, like, Meta to create ads, or do you go into the actual platforms specifically to create the ads?
Yeah. So going into Facebook Ads Manager, so
Oh,
going
okay.
going directly into Facebook, go to your ads manager, which, by the way, for anybody, you can go in, you can log into Facebook as yourself. and then you can type Ads Manager at the top, or you can go to the drop down on the left hand side and you can find Ads Manager there. You go through and you're going to see basically a page that'll have nothing on it if you've never ran an ad before, but it'll say create on the top left ish. And that's where you can create your first ad. So I typically create ads in there rather than doing anything with boost buttons and things like that. Boost buttons, not only are they very restrictive in terms of who will see your ads, etc., but things like Advantage Plus are typically not just turned on, but you can't turn them off when you do
Ah,
things like that. But when you go into Ads Manager, you have way more control over your ads.
gotcha. And then what's a typical like amount of money? So like just so you have an idea, like for us, a lot of us are one woman shows. We are doing the session during the day. We're doing all of it, right? And so and even just one client coming in, like if it's a whole home decluttering and organizing, we could be with them for the next month, month and a half going through their entire house. Or we could do one room and never see them again. Like it really just depends, right? But so financially, and especially for a lot of us that are just getting started, we don't have a ton of money to spend. Do you have like a gauge of a good way or an amount to maybe just kind of play with or start with or what you typically suggest?
Yeah, just anywhere between $5 and $15 a day. That's it. So
Gotcha.
you start small. I know that there's a lot of people out there that say things like you can't test ads without thousands in ad dollars and not to expect your first client until you spent thousands. It's the absolute calling card of somebody who doesn't know what they're doing. It's a load of rubbish. You actually know within about the first $30 of ad spend, you actually have pretty significant data in terms of what's working and what's not. So which audiences are working well, which ones are not, which ads themselves, so the images versus the videos, etc., which ones are getting traction, which ones are not. And you also know whether, you're getting good leads or bad leads. Because within
Mhm.
$30, everybody here should be getting multiple leads within their first $30 of ad spend. And so you'll be able to say, are these the right people, the wrong people, make adjustments accordingly. So just start at anywhere between $10 to $15 per day, wherever you're comfortable. You're kind of at $5 a day, just elongating the process of
Mhm.
getting that first little bit of data. So it might take you a little bit longer, but the sweet spot's
That but that first amount of because even if you did, you can always turn it down, right? So, like, you
oh
could
yeah.
start with $15 a day, get, like, a week's worth of information, and then kinda turn it down to the 5 or whatever you wanna do, but then start analyzing the data from that, like, little chunk of money you spent on that first week to see all the things you just said of, like, what's working, what's not. So then as it goes out over time from there, you can get a little bit more comfortable. How many ads are you typically running? Not you, because I know it's probably a lot for you, but like the for your clients that are local service-based businesses at any given time, is the goal like 5 different ads or like once you kinda narrow them down and figure out what's working and what isn't, how like longevity, how many do you typically run at a time?
We'll usually test 5 audiences, and in each of those audiences, there'll be 5 ads, but they're the same 5 ads. So it's actually quite a quick system to put together. It sounds complicated. It's not. I said that I would share with your audience. Literally, you see the workshop, the 3 hour workshop.
Mhm.
I put all of that into a free course. Literally, the replays broken up so they can go in and literally build this. So if it sounds complicated, it'll be made simple for you
Yeah.
on the other side here. But it's 5 audiences, and then in each of those there'll be 5 adverts.
Love it. Yeah, and then when you say audiences, do you mean like age range audiences?
Well, there's different ways that we can do it. Usually, I'm going by detailed targeting. So detailed targeting would be like people interested in home renovations, people interested in home improvement, people interested in interior design, people interested in this, that, the other. So we
Gotcha.
would test out a few different audiences to find where the sort of like gold leads are.
Uh-huh.
And again, we hope that all 5 work well, but if a couple of them underperform, we simply turn them off. The budget will then flow all towards where the winners are.
Gotcha. Wow, this has been very informative. Like this I love this. Okay, so will you tell everyone I'll definitely put the course, you call it your free ads course, is that what it's called?
Yeah, yeah. So it's 5 videos. It literally walks you through every single step of creating this. It's even got add image templates in there, add copy templates, which obviously you can run through ChatGPT, make your own off the other side of it. But yeah, it literally covers everything right through to the Shoney 255 method, how it works, how to set it up. So really simple. But yeah, the URL is ads and funnels. So ads, ADS, funnels, FUNNELS.com/course. That's it. Super, super simple. So adsandfunnels.com/course. And you can grab that completely for free.
Yeah, and I'll make sure to put the link in the show note in the description too. So the link for the free course, and then also the link for the YouTube video that you were talking about. If you're thinking about not, I mean, not just with this, link of the YouTube video, but like while you're there, you might as well subscribe because it sounds like you give a lot of good content away through the way that you're teaching. And just from this conversation, I've learned a ton. So I can definitely tell you that I can guarantee your content is worth watching and subscribing to. And then will you tell everyone else like where they can find you and all the goodies?
Sure. Well, if you search for Neil Shoney Mac on YouTube, you're gonna find me there. I post 1 to 2 videos a week, but I usually do them pretty long form, so they're usually like 15 to 40-minute videos showing different things with ads and how to do them inside the ads dashboard. Or if you want more fast-paced tips and strategies for utilizing ads to get more clients locally, you can just go to my Instagram, and that's at Neil Shoney Ads. It looks like Neil's Honey, unfortunately. But it is Neil Shoney, so Neil Shoney Ads.
That's hilarious, Neil's honey.
The funny thing is it's Neil Shoney Ads because literally there's a guy that has bees called
That's
Neil's
named
Honey.
Neil.
Yeah. And so unfortunately he had the handle, so I had to go for Neil Shoney Ads.
That's hilarious. I know I tell my ladies all the time. I'm like, "Listen, if exactly what you're needing isn't there, throw a 'the' on the beginning or add an 's' at the end or like because everything's taken these days,
Yeah.
like from somebody and they may not even be using their account and you're like, "Dang, I could really use that account with that wording."
Yeah, I saw he had like 0 posts. He had a private profile with 0 posts, but he had a picture of himself in like a bee helmet. And so I like privately messaged him. I was like, it doesn't look like you're using this account. Any chance I can have it? But he never got back to me. So
Right, because he's not using it, so he
yeah,
never got
exactly.
notified.
Yeah,
That's
savage.
hilarious. Well, thank you so much for coming on and like talking to us about this because I mean, it's something that as social media grows, as everything grows, it's something that we need to know about in this day and age with what we do for sure. And then, real quick, last question before we go off of here. When it comes to Google ads, is it a similar thing? And do you teach Google ads like on your stuff? Because my girls know, I love me some Google.
Yeah. So we do some Google ads, we do YouTube ads, TikTok ads, and LinkedIn ads. And in most cases, it's the same system. So the Shoney 255 method isn't really a Facebook ad system, it's just a mathematical system. Like
Gotcha.
that sounds really geeky and complicated, but all I mean is that we're testing a few audiences, we're testing a few ads, and we're gonna find winners and losers and turn off the losers. That's it.
Gotcha. And then last quick question. So when you are doing ads, have you found certain colors work better than other colors? Like, is it more of like the yellows and the reds that grab your attention?
So it's an interesting one that you say that because I play around with really like you'll see it and some of your listeners when they go through the course and they get the templates, they'll see that some of the Canva ads are just like a blue background, like a baby blue background or a bright red background. Because they totally pattern interrupt, they grab attention, simple words in the center of the text. But the interesting one is that what's working probably better than anything right now is white background with black text. So
What?
yeah, honestly, like I think people have gone so hard on trying to pattern interrupt through color that right now, white background, simple black text is absolutely killing.
That's amazing. We're all ready to go back to the basics and get simple in our lives, is what's
That's it.
happening.
Every single thing we do with ads or anything with marketing it'll work until it doesn't work, and then people write it off, but it will always come back when everybody stops using it.
Oh, right.
So that's why, like, when people are like, "Oh, man, you've got, like, 37 different ad systems inside the portal," and I'm like, "Yeah, lots of them don't work right now, but I know they're gonna work again. That's why I
Right.
don't
They're
delete."
they're coming back around. I'm gonna leave it
Yeah.
there because it's coming back, I promise.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, thank you so much, Neil. I appreciate you. And then for those of you listening, we thank you so much. Go check Neil's stuff out. Subscribe to my channel if you've not had a chance to yet, and I will catch you in the next episode.